Good night. This is U.S. Immigration Attorney Sharifa Tharb. I'm here live to take your U.S. immigration related questions. I also have a very important update today. So while I'm giving you the update, put your questions in the comments so that I can answer them afterwards. But we didn't get good news, guys. So it hit the news that we have now found a reason. I know a lot of people have asked, I was told my case was going to be approved, or I did the interview. Why is the decision taking so long? And we now have the answer. So the immigration officers at the USCIS have been given a directive to put all cases through a second enhanced FBI background check. And because of that, they are now going to put a hold on all applications. So these are going to be green cards, asylum, citizenship application, even family petitions like I-130s. They're going to put a hold on them, even though they went through an FBI background check before. They're going to put them through another background check, an enhanced one. And this is because they have gained a greater access to FBI criminal records. And so they said, okay, well, go back, take all those applications that didn't go through this process before April 27th and let them go through the process again. So and they said this, if you plan to deny the application, then you don't have to do this. So they're just going to send a denial. It's the applications that the officers think are approvable that they're saying should go backwards and go through this secondary FBI background check. So that means even people's cases, people who are told by officers that they were going to approve the application, they were going to receive the approval notice soon, may go backwards and have to wait until this background check is done. FBI background checks can take months. I've even seen sometimes where it takes over a year. And that goes to show you how much of a delay. Not to mention, these are millions of applications that they're processing at one time. And so it is going to create a lot of delays and dysfunction in an already dysfunctional system. So, keep that in mind, that's what's happening now is, we're going to be seeing greater delays and even if your case was approved by the officer, but you didn't officially get the notice yet. And they're specifically targeting those applications that look as if they're going to be approvable. So ironically, it's not the applications that necessarily have any doubts or have any there where the officer has concerns. These are applications where the officers would approve it, but no, they just have to do this other background check. So this is frustrating the system more than anything else. Than making progress, or even for national security, because they already went through the background checks. The applications were found to be approvable. So it is really a situation where they're unnecessarily arbitrarily putting these applications through another background check. So that's what's happening, and I'm going to keep you posted as we learn more. But that just take comfort in knowing that we know the reason now that you were told it was approved, or you went to the interview and you still haven't gotten anything. All right, so I'm going to answer questions. So put your questions in the comments. I'm going to start on TikTok and then work my way around to Facebook, YouTube, and then Instagram. Hi there on Instagram. All right. Hi there. It's nice to see you all. What can I do if I'm due to apply for EAD for my case, but I'm due to apply for OPT at the same time? The two of them can exist at the same time. So you can do them at the same time. And you don't have to choose an EAD over the OPT. You can go for the both of them. Is it true USAS is processing that 75 countries pause? As in they've lifted the pause. So what they're doing is they're doing interviews, they're processing as normally, but when it comes to making a decision, they have not, they will not make a decision until the pause is lifted. Pending I-485, can I travel domestically with EAD, previous overstay? So if you have an EAD, normally you could use it to travel domestically by plane. However, you also have to think about additional risk factors. Do you have anything in your background? I know you have an overstay. Do you have anything else in your background? Have you even checked to see if you have a removal order? Some people have removal orders that they don't even know about. So you just have to be aware of the particular risk in your case. I accidentally registered to vote. Will it affect me? Yes, absolutely. You need representation for sure. You need legal advice. Registering to vote is going to prevent you from obtaining citizenship, and it may even result in revocation of your permanent residence. So you need to make sure you understand your rights, and if there are facts that can help you to overcome any kind of denial or presumption that you claim U.S. citizenship, you must be prepared for that. So give us a call and let's talk. Is T visa affected in the decision making process? So this is across a broad number of applications. They did not mention the T visa. However, it is possible because it is providing a benefit for somebody to be able to stay here legally. So it could very well be, but I have not seen it included. The focus is on asylum, green cards, citizenship, but the T visa could very well be a part of it. I came with K1, got married, applied for my AOS. I'm from Ghana. Will my case be processed? If you apply for it, yes, absolutely, your case is going to be processed. But keep in mind that now this is not to say your case will not be processed. Your case is being processed. So don't sit it out. Don't say you're not going to apply because of the long wait time, because you could actually be losing eligibility for something if you don't apply or meet a deadline. However, it's not that it won't be processed. It's like, how long is it going to take to process? How many steps do you have to go through now to get it processed and approved? Is the ban lifted on 75 countries? I-485 interview canceled 114 days ago. No, so the ban hasn't been lifted. However, keep in mind, once again, the the they are not pausing those. So unless you're from a banned country, so you're from a banned country who's also on the 75 countries, you could be experiencing a pause. But for example, with Jamaica, you're in the 75 countries, but you're not a banned country. In that case, they are not pausing the applications for those individuals here in the US. But as I have explained earlier, now it has come to light that immigration officers are being instructed to put a hold on these applications, to put them through extra FBI vetting. So delays are going to be expected. They use my previous fingerprints for a new application. Is that normal? Yes, that can be normal. How long is a brother sister sponsorship for? At least 14 years. Does USCIS still issue Social Security and work authorization when apply for marriage green card? Yes. Can I still adjust status if I am in the USA and from Jamaica? Yes, absolutely. The pause is on the immigrant visa. You have to be outside of the United States to get the immigrant visa. Does NOID get approved in K1 visa? If you approach the NOID correctly, you answer all the questions to the satisfaction of the officer, you can change a NOID into an approval. annoyed is a notice of intent to deny. They usually give you 30 days to respond to be able um, to try to overcome their decision to deny. And we have seen a turnaround from annoyed to an approval, so it's totally doable. Um, I applied for U visa June 2nd, 2025. How long for BFD? So it varies. I would say about 2.5 years, on average, a year and a half to 2.5 years for the bona fide. That's one of the downsides. It does take long. Well, everything is taking long now. Can I apply for asylum if I have a BS sponsorship? So I'm not sure what BS, brother sister sponsorship, I'm thinking. Yes, absolutely. You can apply for asylum. No, keep in mind that this is not personalized legal advice, this is general information. So this is where it's important to talk to us as an individual in a private appointment so we can get the facts and then properly advise you. Just came in for N400. Is the S75 country getting extra vetting? Everybody's getting extra vetting now. So that's what just came out. When, for example, they're focusing on citizenship, and so everybody is going to face that extra vetting at the FBI background check stage. My husband is from Nigeria and is waiting for his interview. It's been 2 years. Yeah. So in that case, look at the case processing times. If you're outside of case processing times, then that's where you can apply for. You can apply for them to move it along. Let me get the charger for my computer. Hold on for a minute. All right. Okay, I'm back. All right. Can I apply for asylum after 10 years being in the US? Came in with a visitor's visa. If there are changed circumstances, then you can overcome the deadline and still apply. A friend of mine was to appear in court, and his attorney told him no need due to appeal. Well, they should defer to their attorney. Did the attorney get the court case canceled or pushed back? That's important too. So I'm not sure what happened there, but verify, did the court date move back? Because if there was still a court date, that's where there could be trouble. How do I expedite a F2A spouse visa? So it depends on where it is. Is it at the USCIS or is it at the embassy? If it's at the NVC stage, is there a humanitarian basis for the expedite request? If so, then you'd submit it to that particular agency. Is the immigration door open for the pause? So no, the pause has not been lifted. What has happened today is I have additional information about the why we're experiencing delays, and this has to do with they're putting cases on pause to go through additional FBI background checks, more enhanced background checks. And they're targeting applications that they would approve. So what they're saying is the ones that they would deny, they don't care about those for background checks. The ones that they would approve, they're putting them right back through background checks. And background checks, by the way, can take months. It can take even up to a year. So that's where, the delay can be dysfunctional and frustrating. Are you in New York? We are based in Florida. However, we represent clients in all 50 states and even around the globe. So no matter where you are, we can assist. All right. Great. Keep putting your questions in the comments. I will be going around to the other platforms as well. Um, Thanks so much for the love on TikTok. I really appreciate that. The reason I appreciate it is because when you hit the screen, tap the screen like that, people start to see the live, get the information that can empower them. Because I come here, I give updates, I answer questions, and that helps people to understand what direction they should go in, to get help, how long it takes for an approved. I'm not sure. Approved Ashley. I'm not sure what that is. Um, I'm sure that's a typo. How much is consultation fee? 250. And in that, we focus on strategy and moving forward. So give us a call first. We usually make sure that looks like you're a qualified candidate. Then we go into the strategy session. Can my wife for me if I was not paroled? Can your wife file for you if you weren't paroled? If you didn't come with a visa, you were not paroled, then you would not be able to go through adjustment of status. So you do have to show legal entry into the United States or that you are paroled. No, I didn't see anything like that, but for example, if you're married to a spouse that's mistreating you and you were not paroled, you don't have legal entry, then VAWA is an option if your spouse was mistreating you. Can I apply? Okay, so I answered that. All right, so I'm on Instagram and then I'm going to go to YouTube and Facebook. So start putting the questions in the comments. If my husband would like to change status from F1 with OPT to a green card, and I currently don't make enough to sponsor, can we use his income with no as co-sponsor? Would that make it less likely to be accepted? So, if as long as he has legal status, then I believe his income would be able to be used. I remember a past case where we had a situation like that, and our client was able to use his income in addition to his spouse's income. Um, so yes, or you could also get a joint sponsor as well. Is the FBI background check conducted at the biometric stage or it's through the entire process? So the background, so now they're going backwards. So they're, I'm not sure what that, they take fingerprints at the biometrics, but it doesn't mean they're running the background check right on the spot. So it still takes, it's still a process, a 2, 3, 4 month process to get the FBI background check. But what they're doing basically is rechecking these applications. So if they, I guess the point they're trying to make is like they want to thoroughly recheck these applications using the expanded database. Should they check for removal notice? Yes. If you have a removal notice, you won't qualify for adjustment of status. I had an interview 2 days ago, but they didn't give me any decision. You know why? Because of a reason like this, where they're putting your case on hold. They're going to run it through an extra background check first. A friend of mine, parent, traveled to the US on a visitor's visa and then applied for AOS a few months later. During that time, the visa expired. Will that affect processing if they qualify in a certain category that allows them Now, keep in mind, if you are here on current status, you apply for adjustment of status, you qualify for adjustment of status, and then the visa runs out, that's usually okay. But where it becomes a problem is you applied for AOS that you never really qualified for, and then you find out months after the visa has expired that you never really qualified for the adjustment of status. That's where the problem comes in. And that's why it's essential to ensure that you talk to an attorney to confirm that you do qualify for adjustment of status. Because I see a lot of people, especially now, just running and filing for adjustment of status, thinking that's going to fix the situation. What are some of benefits of the prima facie letter in Florida? Um, So usually it comes down to benefits. In some states, it's the driver's license or ID or housing. And so in Florida, you'd have to check with the public department because I don't check. Every state is different. I don't check for what each state gives in benefits. So you have to check with the public assistance office on that, on what the prima facie can qualify you for. Um, what does the FBI background check consist of? So they're going to look for a criminal record. And sometimes I do see even past immigration violations if you're previously deported, and they use fingerprints. So even if you use a different name, they can still find you. Does this affect the fiancé visa? So not necessarily outside of the United States, but when you're ready to do adjustment of status, it could affect you. Applicants from partial ban country AOS, are they going to remove the hold on after the background check? We'll have to see. Right now, we haven't heard anything like that, but we'll have to see. How can I check on my status? Call or go to uscis.gov and use your receipt notice to look it up. Hi there, Elite CR3s. I'm doing good, thanks. Hi, Angel. Good evening. All right. So that is a very specific question, Chaka K. And there are a number of questions that I'd have to ask. So, would it be better to get a co-sponsor or use my husband's income with my income to meet the income requirement? That's too specific for me to answer here. The reason being, I don't know how much you or your spouse makes. I don't know what the situation is. Is it a situation where his job is volatile? He could lose it at any time. I mean, there's a number of questions that I would have. What's the history? This is where it's important to make sure you get personalized legal advice and representation. The I-864, I can guarantee that's going to be the big problem with a lot of applications that normally would be approvable. Is a lot of people overlook the affidavit of support and then get denied on the affidavit of support. So very important that you get it right. Is there a limit of VAWA that a person can file? If someone had filed a VAWA before and withdrew it and refiled another VAWA at a different time for two separate spouses. So that may raise some scrutiny, but if it was done in good faith, you just have to get ready for those questions and the scrutiny. Because when you do submit multiple VAWAs, that's going to definitely attract an officer's scrutiny to determine whether there's some fraud involved. Do you think getting an ITIN number is safe right now, having a pending case with the USCIS? So the USCIS is already aware of you. Getting an ITIN wouldn't necessarily change any kind of result. Now, the ITIN, I am an acceptance agent, and so I do assist clients to get the ITIN number, and none of my clients have had issues so far with the ITIN number. Now, there are some risks to keep in mind in that if you do have a removal order, the they do have access to the IRS to be able to obtain records about the ITIN, the person with the ITIN, with a criminal record or past removal order. What about who came through the border? I'm not sure about. I guess you'd have to give me a complete question because I'm not sure what. I'm moving so fast. I don't know what you're referring to in regard to what I said. So, just tell me what you're referring to. How much do you charge for consultation? 250 is for the consultation. I want to pass citizenship to my son who is on a visitor's visa. He's just 3. So definitely get in touch with us so we can get planning and get going for sure. And we have to make sure that he qualifies. Are they processing I-130 for 75 pause countries? Yes. The I-130 is not the immigrant visa. What they're putting a pause on is the immigrant visa. The immigrant visa. So that's the end of the process where you go to the embassy and you're issued the immigrant visa. So file the I-130. I saw somebody on here say, guys, don't waste your money and time. Don't apply. Well, if you don't apply, you could miss your chance to be eligible. This is a pause, guys. It's not a denial. It's not saying you will be denied. And so, if you would like to get the benefit that you qualify for, you must still move forward with your process. Don't say that you're not going to apply because of a pause, because a pause does not mean you'll be denied. Is this new memo in the Federal Registry? No, it's an internal directive that was circulated within the USCIS. Hi there, it's nice to see you too. If your I-130 was approved, but I-485 denied, but going to file I-290B, would you take that case? So I'd have to talk to you in detail first to understand whether that's the right strategy. How long does a J1 waiver take for approval for Jamaican? So I don't really want to give timelines here. Every case is different. Will VAWA get, what I will say then is vaguely it's over a year. It's taking over a year right now. Will VAWA get any better or do I need a new lawyer? Applied 11/07/2022. All I have is 5 prima facie and a 5-year work permit. It's not. No, I don't know. I don't know the lawyer you have, but you can't blame the lawyer for the processing time. The lawyer doesn't control the processing times. So getting a new lawyer will not change your processing times. Oh, thank you so much, Michael. I appreciate that. So remember to like, comment, share this page, guys. Thank you for that. Exactly. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. That's how other people will see this information that will empower them through their immigration journey. So thank you so much for that, Michael. Thanks on TikTok. Immediately, I'm seeing the Lydia sharing the live. Thank you for that. Sasha, it's always good to see you. Thank you so much, Lynn Bashi. Thank you, Mary B. Thank you. I appreciate it. Everybody who is sending love. Thank you. We're at 4.6K likes on TikTok. All right. I'm on Facebook and YouTube now. So I'm just going through the questions. Let me see if we have any more. Can I use my VA benefits for the I-864? So if it's considered income, not necessarily benefits, but if you're receiving payment, then you would be able to use that for your I-864. You can also use your assets. But here's the deal: make sure you have an attorney. We're always here to assist our clients with this. The I-864 can be complicated, especially when maybe on your tax return you don't make sufficient income and you have to look elsewhere. You have to look at your assets. You have to look at other other things to be able to make up for the requirement. The I-864, guys, is essential. They will deny your entire adjustment of status application for failing to meet the requirements of the I-864. And do not depend on them, immigration, saying, okay, don't depend on them to let you know, give you a chance. Because I even spoke to someone today. They did not give her a chance. They denied it without issuing a request for evidence. So that's what, and they did say in the policy manual, that's what they had to reserve the right to do, deny without issuing a request for evidence. Hi, Chun, it's nice to see you. So keep that in mind. My dad, a US citizen, F3 since 2013. My dad is sick and in a rehabilitation center or nursing home. Can you do an expedite on this? On this case. So I usually just do expedites for my current clients. So I don't usually take on expedites, for clients I didn't file their application. All right. Go ahead and give us a call regarding our ITIN service, and the staff will be more than willing to help you on that. Can a person use their EAD card to board for a plane within the US? Yes, but please understand your risk, because even with an EAD, we have, for example, many of us witnessed multiple individuals being detained at the airport with EADs. But what happened is that individual had a past removal order. I don't know if they knew about it, and even if they knew about it, they were in the process of fixing it. But they are still targeting individuals with past removal orders. So still, if you have an EAD, still understand the risk involved. I-130 petition was done. Can an adjustment of status be done if the consular is outside of the US? No. So if you cannot do adjustment of status outside of the US. If you're here in the US, you can switch the adjustment of status. Is oath ceremonies getting canceled after the last USCIS pause on proceedings? So the last I heard, they were actually they were rescheduling those oath ceremonies. So they've listed the pause on some case types. But right now, we also know that now they're going backwards to do extra FBI background checks, so we could continue to see delays and cancellations. My case was granted by a judge, but they appealed it. How long does the process take? So I wouldn't be able to tell you that. I have a 2-year green card. If the immigration is not going to open until my card expires, what I have. So I want to straighten this out. You should still move forward with applying. They haven't closed anything. They still take your petition, and they still issue you a receipt notice. And in that receipt notice, you will get a 4-year extension that shows that you continue to be a green card holder. So by all means, if you're in doubt, talk to an attorney. But this pause and the extra background checks does not mean that cases are stopped or somehow they're closed to new applications. Still apply for your applications, right? Don't let the system fool you into thinking you don't qualify. Are they now processing asylum cases for Jamaicans? It's likely they are, but no, we have to contend with the extra background check. So, yeah, but they did say that they've lifted the pause on asylum applications, and they've only limited the pause now to the countries that they deem to be of concern. which are likely the 39 banned countries, and Jamaica is not one of them. So there should be movement there. Thanks so much for the love. I appreciate it. All right. If beneficiary is not able to find a joint sponsor, can he use his income with spouse's income? If the immigrant is has legal status here, with that income, it can be used. But if they don't have legal status here, then that income cannot be used. They can't use it to show that they you can use assets, but you wouldn't be able to use to show income from that job, because or the immigrant wouldn't be able to do that. It's been 17 months since I filed the I-130 and I only received a receipt notice. Look at case processing times on uscis.gov. It will tell you whether 17 months is outside of their processing times. If it is, call, let them know so that they can push it forward. Thanks so much, Sasha, for liking the live. I appreciate that. Is Nigeria on the list? I believe Nigeria is on the banned list and on the Center 5 country list. I have a green card and I have no criminal record. I'm free to travel. Green card holders can travel. I just say, just know your individual risk. If you have your green card, you never had any issues, you never got arrested, never traveled outside of the country for extended periods of time. You don't fear that they're gonna tag you for any kind of fraud or any issues like that. Then you should be able to travel. Just make sure you have the right documents that you're traveling with, your green card, your passport. Um, all right. Do you recommend traveling on a travel document? I am very conservative on that. I would say I personally would steer away from traveling. But ultimately it's your decision. You just have to understand the risk level. If you're a U.S. citizen daughter who is 21 years old, if she do an I-130, which is faster way being in your home country or being in the U.S., and can you travel to the U.S. while you may have the I-130 filed? So I've seen individuals enter with an I-130 filed. Sometimes it does draw questions from the officer, and if the officer isn't satisfied with the answers, they can turn you back around because they suspect immigrant intent, that you'll overstay in order to apply for adjustment of status. So it's possible I've seen that happen, but it's going to raise questions. If we got married, but our share finances are just 1 month, can I still file AOS? So you don't want to wait forever, but what you do is you file it with the evidence that you have, and then once you have that evidence, make sure you continue to gather that evidence so you can update them with the evidence, the updated evidence. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that, Bejish. For We got our bona fide determination notice as derivative applicants, but EAD still in progress. Does it take time to get our EADs? My wife got her EAD last month as principal applicant. Yes, so lately we've been getting them at the same time, bona fide with the letter, but bona fide with the EAD. But yes, previously we have noticed there's a lag between the bona fide determination letter that provides your protection and then when the EAD finally comes. Hi there, Guru Prince. Nice to see you. Hi, Shat Simo. Okay. What if they do not have a pass removal, but from the Center 5 countries? So if they're in the US, can a person use their EAD card to? So if they're in the US, they have their EAD card. Um, they're not arresting people from the 75 countries. But the 75 countries just has to do with the immigrant pause outside of the country, the US. All right. I see the questions coming in. 9.7K likes on TikTok. Thank you for that. Can I file for my partner if the tax transcript is not ready? So you should now, if you did not file your taxes, you must show the most recent tax return. And then they are going, before they can approve the affidavit of support, they're likely going to want that most recent tax return. So it's very important you make sure you file the most recent tax return because they're gonna ask for it. Is reckless driving charged with no harm affect VAWA pending? It may, depending on the facts, it's not necessarily, it doesn't lead to inadmissibility, but are there questions about good moral character that you have to worry about? And that is very fact specific, by the way. I got my advanced parole with my marriage base. Now I changed to VAWA. Can I use it to travel? It's still valid. But as for travel, just be very careful. The risk is very high right now. Blessings. Thanks so much for watching my lives, watching so much, spending time on there. Thank you for that, for using, making time for the lives. Thanks so much, Feature in International. I appreciate that. Southgate, it's nice to see you. How long I-360 takes? Go to uscis.gov, go to case processing times. You look up the I-360, you'll see it there. You're very welcome, Mr. Artist. Can I file for my, so I answered that. Okay, let me come back to Instagram. Let's see, any more questions? Hi there, it's nice to see you. Hi. I don't see any more questions. Let's see. Okay. So all petitions are on hold as of now with the new news. Yes, so many of them are, what they're doing is pushing them back for background checks, which essentially delays it again. So it's technically it's not on hold, but it means that they're pushing them backwards, back to the background check stage, which is going to take months to resolve. And keep in mind, this is millions of applications. Hi there, Ved Lauren. Nice to see you. So what's the impact on judge ruling on USCIS that adjudication pause from the 39 countries? I believe was the 39 countries was unlawful. So it applied to 83 plaintiffs. So it's not, doesn't apply to all applicants from the 39 countries, but it is a step forward. And it means that we'll likely see more cases being brought forward to challenge the pause. And it may even turn into a class action situation where it may go nationwide. I filed for on November 4th, 2022 with I-485. When will they approve it? So look at the case processing times on uscis.gov and you will see the range of time they're taking now. All right. Good night. If you came through the border, got a positive send in your asylum, what should be the next step? I'm not sure what a positive send in your asylum is, but you should just closely monitor your asylum case to make sure that you are, doing everything, attending the interview if you're called for an interview, and so forth. Is someone who won asylum case gonna pay the yearly asylum fee? I believe it's for applicants. Oh, thank you so much, Damien. Yes, I'm settling in nicely. Thank you. Into the new office. I'm actually at the office now. I have to get home. Um, Good evening. Yep, nice to see you, Damien. All right. Can I apply for VAWA with one-page declaration and a psychological evaluation? Great question. So I'm gonna end with this question. I will work to be back tomorrow. So make sure you like, subscribe, share, hit the notification bell. That's how you're gonna see me. You can hop on with me. Can you win with a one-page declaration? I would say unlikely. That declaration is super important, and one page is not going to cut it. They want details, they want dates, times, places, why, when, where, how. They want all of that. And one page is telling me there's not a lot of detail there. When you're filing a VAWA, you cannot be submitting just a paragraph. My spouse abused me. My spouse made me feel bad. My spouse verbally abused me. That will not count. They want to understand, when did you meet your spouse? How did you meet? How did your relationship build? Did you live together? What were the specific incidents that would lead you to say that they mistreat you? Were you qualify for VAWA? Do you have good moral character? All of that is essential, and they want a detailed breakdown. So we help our clients to really navigate that. We help our clients to understand the level of detail that's required, and we help them to be put it in writing. So this is where having counsel really helps people to be able to put forth solid applications that get them approved. Okay, so that's going to be it for me today. Thanks everybody for your time. I'll be back tomorrow. Just remember though, there's only so much you can get done on a live. If you want to move forward and have a solution in your particular case, give us a call. Let's do an evaluation, because that's where we succeed is we ask questions that not a lot of other lawyers ask. That helps us to get to really good solutions. So take that time. Just today, guys, just today, I spoke to someone who did not have hope. Her heart her heart, her instincts led her to book an appointment with me, but she was really skeptical. By the end of it, she had a really solid case that she had no idea she qualified for. And here she was not even going to attend this session. She did, thankfully, and we found a solution for her. And this example of what happened today is exactly what happened for my clients who have their papers. Many of them said, oh, what's the point, and but their hearts led them to still move forward. So make sure you are taking that kind of action to see what is out there. What can you do to empower yourself and to be able to get to meet your goals and get your immigration papers? There is a way to do this, right? There are options, and we explore those options. Thank you, Jean Favor. I appreciate that. All right, I will be back tomorrow. Have a good night, everybody, and just take care. Walk in faith and take action. That's how we get past hard times, challenging times. It's always going to be there. Challenge is always going to be there. Push through it. That's how I at the firm have been successful, taken on difficult cases, and still have won these because we still push. We push through, persevere, and push through. All right. Have a good night. Bye bye.